Alright, so today I simply must review MTV's Are You the One? Season 6. So I just finished the season a couple minutes ago. I've been watching through it with my dog. She's taking a rest, resting her eyes a little bit. So basically, I thought the season was pretty good. I was actually really surprised by how much I ended up liking most people. At first I thought, oh, I'm not going to like the season. Every season I start, I always think, I'm not going to like these people, I'm not going to like these people. But once you get to know them, then it becomes more enjoyable, I'd say. I think probably my top tier, my favorites of the season, I really liked Shad of the guys. I thought he was pretty funny, and I know they said he was, I don't know, he seemed kind of weird, but I thought his personality's good. I thought he was a hilarious guy. He seemed really familiar. Him and E-Money both seemed really familiar to me for some reason. I don't know if I saw him on another show, but as they were, when they first came out, I was like, oh, I swear I know these guys from somewhere. So I haven't figured out where I know them from yet. I know E-Money is a kind of famous rapper, and I've heard some of his songs. And speaking of, I really liked the song that he and Ty made, the Perfect Match song. I thought that was incredible for them to whip that out and perform that, and then it kind of became their anthem for the rest of the season. So I thought that was an interesting addition. And then it's even online, you can look it up and listen to kind of I don't know if it's a studio recorded version, but a good version online. And I thought that song was good. And I really thought it brought them all together as a team at the parts when they were all singing together. I love that. But I thought, so Shad was probably my favorite dude. And I thought he seems cool, and he seems funny. And I know he seems like he could be a jerk or something like that, but I like that. I like that. I think dudes like that are pretty funny. And then my favorite girl was probably, I always found myself really rooting for Deandra. I wanted her to find someone that was good for her, and then I thought she was pretty I don't know, I felt bad for her getting played and stuff like that. And at the same time though, it's I wish she saw what was happening earlier to her. And I guess I'd pick her as my favorite. And I felt bad that she ended up with Kareem, and they kind of had the similar, I don't know, they both had a lot of freakouts kind of, and so I could see that being a match for sure. Just the way that they would both get really upset and start screaming a lot, and I don't know if I couldn't be around that, personally, but I guess they were a pretty good match. So I'd probably put her as my favorite because she's just the most entertaining to follow, and I was always rooting for her, even if and I also kind of noticed how Nerese kind of went into the background the last, I don't know, a few episodes. She kind of didn't really say anything. She was barely in it at all. And so that was interesting. And then I thought probably the biggest hindrance in the show that season was there was the group of guys who wouldn't kind of branch out, and they kept blaming it on the no match couples. But I also kind of think you just got to take things into your own hands at that point. You just got to get to know everyone in the house, and I feel I don't know, I mean, I obviously see a little slivers of that is all. You don't see that much, but I wonder about how much they really did everyone chat with everyone. I feel and of course I'm not there, I don't know anything about the process, but I feel the group of guys Shad, Joe, Ty, and E-Money, they kind of all sat in a block that didn't seem to reach out enough. And then also the no match couples constantly staying together, Clinton and what was her name, Uche. I thought they kind of stayed together, and I don't know if they were really good for each other. I don't know about any of the afterwards, if they stayed together, or any of the couples I've continued anything. I guess it's only been a few years since that happened, so I'm gonna have to check that out. The ones that I could see being together today are probably, I don't know if Shad would actually be with, I think it was Audrey, is who his perfect match was. Oh, and he called it. I thought when he called it that he was with her, that was a good one. And I don't know, I thought he figured it out before anyone else did, and he used his heart instead of the strategy, right? And I was kind of impressed by the strategy at the end. The Chris Pratt guy, and he was dating Miley Cyrus for most of the season, and they were no match couple, and they had a lot of kind of toxic interactions, and the last night everything blew up. I thought that was pretty funny. And I also thought it was really funny when Malcolm on the last episode, like he's all nervous for the ceremony. He gets up and he starts throwing up, dude. That was so funny. I felt bad for him. I mean, but he seemed all right. Like after that, I don't know if it's because he might have drank too much or if it was really nerves. Because I don't know. Either way, I liked that. I thought that was pretty funny. That had me laughing pretty hard. And then it was really surprising in the end when they actually pulled it off. I didn't think they were going to. I thought this was going to be the first season where they're unable to. And I mean, it was a lot harder this season because it's still 10 weeks, but it's 11 couples. And like, that just adds so much to the equation that I didn't think they'd be able to win, honestly. Like, I thought that this would be the first, I don't know, I haven't watched all the other seasons, but I thought this would be one where they were unable to get the $1 million. And the fact that they never blacked out was really impressive to me. How not a single time did they black out, so they didn't. And then they also had way more consequences for blacking out. They would lose half the money. And then at the end, it's also disappointing because with 11 couples, now you split the money, the $1 million, 22 ways instead. And so I was like, they're competing for a little bit less reward, and it's more challenging too. So I don't know what the idea was there, if they had to add someone last minute or what. But I thought that was kind of unfair, I guess. And then also their money would decrease by half. And the host, Terrence, I really liked Terrence. I thought that he added a lot to the equation, and he actually he kind of had more interaction than the other host, and he made more commentary and made more jokes. And I like that. I like how he added something to the show. He kind of wasn't entirely impartial, and I like that. I thought he was a good host. I don't know what he's from or what he's gone on to do since. And same with everyone else in the show. I don't know what they're from or what they've gone on to since. I know that sometimes, since it's MTV, they pick people from other shows, so I don't really know what else they could be from. I know it's not the few shows that I've seen, at least. But ultimately, I think this season was pretty enjoyable. Like, it got off to a rocky start with me, and I thought it was interesting how they changed venue and went to New Orleans instead of being in Hawaii, and that probably cut costs a lot, you know. Like, it was probably really expensive to go to Hawaii and fly out there people's exes and do all that stuff in the other seasons. And then, the one perfect match that they identified, week 9 or whatever, that was pretty... It didn't seem like she really liked him a lot, I guess. That was Ty and... Oh, man, I'm drawing a blank on her name. I thought I could do all of the names, but this is the one that I'm forgetting, huh? I'm sorry if you're watching this and I forgot your name. But yeah, ultimately, I thought this season was pretty good at the end. Like, once you build that kind of understanding of the not characters but the people, and you kind of get into the flow of it, it becomes a lot more enjoyable to watch. And so ultimately, I think this season, Shad brings it up a lot. I think Shad's, and he wasn't in it a whole ton, but I just thought his whole demeanor was extremely entertaining anytime he was on screen. I would like to see more of Shad, and I liked E-Money a lot too, right, Ethan? I think it's Ethan, yeah. He was really funny, and he seems like a guy I'd be friends with. Same with Shad, I guess. So ultimately, I think I'll give this season a 4 out of 12.